There are 5 ways to run an ice bath in a commercial facility. Most clubs run the worst one without ever choosing it. The bath went in, somebody determined a temperature, in most cases too cold. Most members, aside from those who are experienced users, well past their first exposure, took one look, they felt excited, jumped in, and in most cases never came back. The few who continued were left to work it out for themselves. No program, no progression, no outcomes. By the end of this video, you will know all 5 models, which one fits your facility, and how to pick it. Let's go. I'm Phil Learney, Head of Science and Performance at Brass Monkey. Everything in this episode comes from Specifying Readiness, the gym operator's guide to cold water immersion, which I co-authored. It's free, it's linked below, and this video is a walkthrough of that guide. The last episode was the why, the gap between owning cold water infrastructure and getting outcomes from it. Today is the how. Programming ice baths so they earn their place, and importantly, their square footage. One idea sits under all 5 models. Filed as wellness amenity, an ice bath is a cost. No staff time, no program, a maintenance bill with a utilisation problem. Filed as nervous system training equipment, specified, dosed and progressed like any other equipment on your floor, it delivers a notable return on investment for the facility and its users. You're not choosing between 5 models yet. You're choosing what the bath is. Get that right, and the 5 models are your options. Get it wrong, and none of them matter. Model 1, standalone readiness training, the one that makes the biggest difference. Pure nervous system training, with the ice bath at the center of it. Coached or taught, then self-directed. This requires a conscious entry, a conscious exit, and measured recovery. Pair it with coached breathing control, and you bridge the psychology and the physiology in one session. Here's why this one matters more than the rest. It's a genuinely new training proposition. The industry is calling this space neuro-wellness training, the nervous system itself, not just the muscles attached to it. Members are directly or indirectly asking for it, before most clubs even have a name for it. Standalone readiness training gives your facility a new way to talk about training, and a reason to join for people who were never coming in for another gym program. New members, not just retained ones. This model is the coach protocol. Members don't buy access to the tub, they buy a structured program, assessed entry, a dosed exposure that progresses over weeks, and a defined outcome they're working towards. A coach or a protocol owns the session, not the member's nerve. That's why this is the highest margin model in the set. You're not selling cold water, which anyone can buy. You're selling something they can't get anywhere else, and pricing follows scarcity. Model 2, contrast. Ice bath plus sauna. Undoubtedly the easiest one to run. If Model 1 makes the biggest difference, contrast is the simplest to lay out. The sequence is easy to follow and easy to put on a wall. Heat, then cold, 2 or 3 cycles, always ending on cold. Members get it instantly, and for newcomers, the heat genuinely lowers the barrier to the cold, so more people try it sooner. But easy to follow isn't the same as running it off a poster and walking away. To cold is the highest load entry of the 5. The member comes out of the heat, warm, heart rate already up, and the cold lands on top of that. So what's on the wall doesn't take the place of the dose. It carries the sequence, the entry rules, and the same daily check as every other model. A controlled entry, breathing under control before the head goes near the water, and nobody getting in who is not in a state to. First timers do those first rounds with a coach, not off the poster. Get that right, and the rest is genuinely practical, not conceptual. Bath next to the sauna, showers close by, guidance impossible to miss. If you already have a sauna, this is your most natural addition you can make, and your sauna usage goes up with it. Model 3, pre and post cooling. This is the changing room workhorse, and the model with more going for it than most clubs realise. Cold here supports the member's broader program, and it typically lives in or near the changing room. That's a feature, not a compromise. Separate changing rooms let you run 2 baths at different temperatures, matched to different members and different stages of acclimation, rather than a single guest for everybody. And if the space is tight, pre and post cooling can even run shower based, while the case for the bath builds. There's a real training depth here too. Pre-cooling before endurance work in heat, in particular, can extend performance. And the timing goes both ways. Cold immediately after resistance training blunts the molecular signals that drive muscle growth. Hypertrophy members, those chasing muscular gain, should strategize their time away from lifting. Endurance members use it between sessions. Same bath, opposite outcomes. The timing is a critical part of the dose. Model 4. Cold, utilised inside a personal training program, dosed individually, integrated, reviewed and progressed alongside everything else a personal trainer would run. It's the most flexible model and the clearest outcomes because a trained PT is reading the person as they are, not the clock. If your PT team is strong, this is your quiet revenue line. Cold inclusive PT packages. Model 5. Ad hoc, self-directed access, the default, and the one to avoid as your starting point. The bath is available. Members self-administer, and this is how most ice baths in this country are deployed right now. And it's the riskiest option on the board. Not because experienced members can't handle it, because an inexperienced member, an unguided first experience of cold water that's probably too cold to start with, is most likely a bad experience. And a bad experience of cold water in your facility is a bad experience of your brand. Ad hoc access should be earned. A graduation path from models 1 to 4, not the entry point. The most common deployment in the market is the one your members should qualify for last. Whichever model you run, underneath it sits the same question. What's the right dose for the person in front of you? The honest answer is, it depends. And the guide turns "it depends" into a framework your staff can actually run. 6 variables in this order: purpose, state, acclimation, geometry, response, and time. Time is last, deliberately. 3 minutes at 6 degrees is not a program. It's a guess derived from social media. Time is what's left when the other 5 have done their bit. Every session is gated by a traffic light. Green equates to dosing as planned. Amber means a shorter, guided dose only. Red means no cold today, and that's a non-negotiable. And the dose is delivered through 4 classes. Orientation first, coached entries, where a calm exit is the goal. Brief, it's short, stable, and the minimum effective dose. Standard, the working dose when the lights are green. Progress to a higher dose that's been earned. 2 rules over all of it. Change 1 variable at a time, and if a member loses control, the dose is incomplete. Progression is earned by demonstrated control, calm exits, and a normal rewarming process, done repeatedly and successfully. Not bravery, not minutes on the clock. Now the part your finance team cares about. Programmed call pays back through the levers you control. Utilisation. Programmed sessions will get booked and repeated. Ad hoc access drifts over time, especially with established members. Session margin. A coach session is a high margin product. Free access to a cold tub isn't. Members want outcomes, not access. Retention. Members who engage with a program stick with one that delivers physiological outcomes even more. And retention is where the money sits in any membership business. Ancillary revenue. PT packages, contrast upsell, premium tiers, workshops, and the asset case. Programmed equipment generates usage data, which justifies this CapEx line and the next one. There's no universal payback number. Anyone who gives you one is guessing. The levers are known, controllable, and they're measurable. That's what makes the CapEx request writable and the decision defensible. So, 5 models. Match the model to what your members are actually training for. That's half the dose. Program it properly, that's the other half. And treat ad hoc access as the graduation, never the default. The full framework, all 5 models with best fit, sighting, and risk. The 6 variables, the 4 dose classes, the progression system is in specifying readiness, free, and linked below. If you want to walk through what it looks like in your facility, Brass Monkey's team will run it with you.